Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Game On and Beyond podcast. This is episode
5.
5.
We done did it.
We've done it. 5 episodes.
Dude, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I feel like we have done what we've tried to do and done a consistent show for 5 weeks now, technically.
Yeah.
And I feel like each show's getting better. As you guys can see, the setup has changed once more, but only a slight evolution. We have some stuff we need to work on. We're going to work on some lighting. But I wanted to put this bad boy up because I love Captain America. I got the shield. I wanted to have more backdrop stuff here. So, you know, we're trying to change things slowly but surely and kind of evolve the production quality, production value, and just the value that you can get from watching the show week by week. So we're dedicated to doing that. How you can help us achieve greatness is to like and subscribe.
Yep, and comment as well because your comments, they help us out quite a bit.
Yes, and I even brought Oreo along this week to bribe you with her cuteness. She's really scruffy right now. You guys, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, please, and leave a nice comment for the algorithm.
She's looking at you like, dude.
She's like, stop.
Stop using me for promotion.
Yes.
I'm a dog.
But she's cute. She'll help her out, help us out. And stop in and tell us what you think about the show. It's been good. I think it's been good.
It's been real fun, man.
Get better.
Yeah, it's, you know, I feel like from the first episode into this episode, I mean, it just started, but I feel like we have a good way of, I don't know, just like good dynamics, you know?
We know each other well. We're friends. In case you guys didn't know, a little background, we've been friends for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like more than that, probably at this point.
Yeah, dude. It's at least 30.
Yeah, we've been friends for quite a while. We've been always talking about doing something like this, and we finally put it into practice, and now we've been doing it for 5 straight weeks. I feel like the dog at some point is going to rip down the camera by walking around. But
probably.
Hey, if that happens, that's okay. So, again, thanks for stopping into the show this week. It's kind of a slow news week.
Yeah, very slow.
But I think we have some cool things to talk about.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about me.
Let's talk.
I got.
Let's talk about me.
But first, let's talk about me. I got my PS5. Okay, PS5 Pro. We talked about this.
Congratulations.
I started playing Death Stranding. It's weird as shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's weird as heck. Maybe I shouldn't have cursed so quickly into the show. I think
That's
there's
okay.
some kind of algorithmic thing to not curse within the first, like, 2 minutes.
I think it's like the first 30 seconds.
Okay.
But
we'll extend it and do some nonsense to extend that.
My next video that I'm working on for my personal channel, I pretty much I cuss and because I have to say fuck.
Do you want to plug your personal channel for all the zillions of viewers that will be here for us to watch it?
If you guys are interested in learning about Midwest emo bands, I cover them in a documentary type of style. You can find me at Kaz on YouTube or Kaz on YouTube. Really love documenting like music and whatnot, and there's a lot of like Midwest emo bands that are from like our area, obviously in the Midwest, that really deserve some love. And definitely if you guys are interested, check it out. So yeah.
KAZ on YouTube.
Yep. If you want that direct link, it's Kaz KAZ on YouTube. Y2.
I'll do this with my hands, and then at some point we'll put in a fancy graphic.
Yes.
That appears as I. Kaz on YouTube.
Yes.
Click
exactly.
This. And then it's gonna be here.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna put it right on his face too.
Click this. No. So
let's talk about Death Stranding.
Let's talk about Death Stranding a little bit. Death Stranding, zany game so far. I'm maybe 2% into it. I've only done a few missions.
Yeah.
It definitely lives up to the name walking simulator. However, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think even I have the director's cut, so it was a remastered version for the PS5 and then PS5 Pro. I think there's some enhancements.
Oh, neat.
It looks gorgeous. Even just walking around, it's really cool. And I didn't realize it almost seems like there's a somewhat multiplayer element to it. I noticed in my map someone had dropped some ladders.
Yeah.
And you can it and at some point comment or something to communicate with people. So the game at its heart is about human connection and about people who are separated kind of finding each other again, and it's all set within this crazy world of like extinction level events brought on by these like tar demons from the death world or something.
Yeah.
So it's majorly wacky. The performances are amazing. You walk a little bit and then you watch like a 20-minute cutscene, and
That's Hideo Kojima for you.
It's really good. I really enjoy it.
Good.
I think we'll once I give it some more gameplay and get into some of the bosses and whatnot, we'll definitely see how it holds up, or if I'm like
Right.
But so far I really enjoy it, and I definitely am sticking by my pledge to buy Death Stranding 2.
Nice. Good for
Also,
you.
Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I told myself I was clean, and I broke the habit. Break it. Wait, that's not about the same thing. I told myself I was going to break the habit. I told myself I would never go back to the crack house that is Destiny 2. However, I've been seeing some really cool lore videos on YouTube. I've been seeing some cool drops, little baby drops of content. And apparently they're dropping major updates coming up. Not just story missions and seasons. I think they're doing full on, like, they're calling them major updates, which are small expansions to the game.
Didn't they say they were going to do that like twice a year?
They said a bunch of stuff. I don't know what they're saying. But here's the thing: reality set in. You know, the Light and Darkness saga is over.
Mm-hmm.
They went into these acts or these seasonal stories that replaced seasons, but now they're back to seasons. But then they're getting rid of seasons, and they're just doing like classic Destiny, I think, updates to the game.
Kind of like how D1 and D2 vanilla were. Where they...
I believe so. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on this, guys. I need to do a little more education. I used to be really into the Destiny universe and Destiny community, and now I feel like, again, you know, I smelled like the hit of like Destiny crack, and I was like,
you sniffed that Cade.
I got it. I need it. So there's apparently a summer update coming out, and then something in the fall, and then they have code names like Codename Frontiers, Codename Apollo. And apparently the rumor is that the story is going to take you outside of the solar system. You're going to go to new worlds.
Ooh.
They're revisiting some cool stuff with villains from previous storylines like Oryx and some of the Hive characters. So I was like, gosh dang it. So right now on the PlayStation Network, if you're like an extra or plus member or higher, you can buy the whole Light and Darkness collection, which pretty much has everything you need to play Destiny 2 for like $45.
Nice.
It's normally like $149. So that's a pretty fat discount, and it ends tomorrow. So
got to hit that buy button.
I gotta hit that pipe.
Now, does it come with like the 30th anniversary stuff
So
as
it comes
well
with. I can actually tell you. Give me 2.2. Sorry, I probably should know this.
Because if it comes with dungeon keys, that's awesome.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna rant about after this.
Okay, all right. I'll let you cook.
Let him cook. So, Destiny 2, the Light and Darkness collection. I'll just read it off the Steam page. Psych, it's not going to let me do that. Let me do this
Damn it,
instead. Steam. PlayStation Store, excellent. PlayStation never let me down. So, the collection includes Forsaken Pack, Shadowkeep Pack, Beyond Light Pack, which seems kind of stupid because I'm pretty sure the Shadowkeep and Beyond Light Pack are free right now to play. So don't even get me started.
Like for the free to play?
Free to play. I think you can play up through Beyond Light for the free to play experience right now in Destiny 2. So the fact that I'm just reading that and now I'm triggering myself because I'm like, the fact that they're advertising that as part of this bundle, pay for it, but you get it for free.
Well, I don't even think you play through like the vanilla stuff. I don't think you play through the vanilla stuff, or you play through what's it called?
Well, the whole new player experience is kind of fucked for Destiny 2, but anyway,
yeah.
I digress. Forsaken Pack, Shadowkeep Pack, Beyond Light Pack, 30th Anniversary Pack, The Witch Queen Standard Edition, Lightfall Standard Edition, more like Bootyfall. No, just kidding. It's not that bad, but okay. Strand is a sick subclass, though. I will say that
it is cool. But the way that they implemented the story in that was gonna
booty juice,
booty
strand,
yeah.
booty fall. The Final Shape expansion plus annual pass upgrade. So cool. I get Final Shape, and I'm pretty sure you get all of the stuff that's like up to now, the new stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next chunks of shit, I don't know what that will cost or if it'll be free. Here's where I'm pissed. You have to pay for all the dungeon keys separately. And I'm pretty sure that's almost another $40. It's like $10 a pass. So yes, I'm getting a sweet deal. I'm getting 2 free things and then 3 or 4 things that cost money for $45. But if I want to play some of the peak content for some of those things, I got to shell out another at least $40.
Are you gonna buy the dungeon packs too?
I don't know. We'll see. The nice thing about
Or keys, I should
the
say.
nice thing about playing on my PS5 Pro, and I don't mean this in a negative way, so if people are gonna spam us with comments about like, PC versus console, my PS5 Pro is kind of like my casual console, my casual system, and I don't find myself doing a lot of hardcore gaming anymore. Not for any bad reason, but just life changes, and you gotta have different priorities.
Yeah.
So I'm finding myself wanting to chill on the couch upstairs around the family and play some games. So I got Death Stranding. Destiny 2 is obviously a little more hardcore because there's like a multiplayer element, and the gameplay loop is a little more difficult, quote unquote. However, I know Destiny like the back of my hand, and I can play it with like my eyes closed at this point. So it's like a good chill game. It's like a good chill game.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick it up. I am a little salty about the way that they pitch this, but yeah, I'm excited. I got some games lined up tomorrow. I have a day off, so I'm
Nice.
gonna dive in, do some gaming,
Good.
and just enjoy my PS5.
Is there any like newer games that you're thinking about picking up other than
I was debating Kingdom Come 2. The Kingdom is it Deliverance?
Kingdom
2
Come
to
Deliverance 2?
Deliverance 2.
Yeah.
We do a gaming podcast, but we know our shit.
We know titles.
We know stuff, but sometimes we mess stuff up. I was thinking something like that. That's a little more of like a hardcore RPG. I still have Assassin's Creed Shadows kind of in the back of my mind.
You should
but-
wait until that's on sale, man. Like
Yeah.
wait until like Christmas time or something.
Yeah.
Because
No, you're
man,
right.
it's gonna be like $40, and it'll be worth it then.
There's also, what is it called? The first Berserker, the last Berserker, Kazan
Or Kaizen or whatever.
Kaizen
Yeah.
or Kaizen.
That
looks pretty cool.
no, it does look tight.
It looks fun.
Looks cool.
It looks really cool.
I think it's based off of like the Dungeon Fighter series that's like really big in Japan.
Yes.
Or it's like is it like an online game or something that's like huge?
I believe it was an offshoot of some kind of online game. I just heard about this on something this morning.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. The art style looks fun. It's another Souls-like game. I'm looking forward to Elden Ring Night Rain. I think maybe I'll get that on PS5 Pro.
Cool.
Maybe
That'd be
just use
sweet.
that as a game to play that on.
Nice.
So I'm excited. Got some fun games in the future.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to somehow hook this thing up, to the computer. And now that I got the Elgato, maybe do some streaming.
That'd be cool.
We have some of that stuff. We talk about this every week that we're going to do a stream at some point. But I would really like to get that going the next couple weeks. So maybe I can get that fired up.
Cool.
Do some Helldivers.
Dude, that'd be
My
awesome.
PC, or get my PS5 and play some Destiny.
That's right. Yeah, the Elgato I gave you is mostly for I think it's mostly for consoles.
Okay.
So if anything,
Plug that beast
Yeah.
right in.
yep, for
All right,
sure.
Cool. So, fun times. Now that we got that conversation out of the way, we're done talking about me. Let's jump into some.
What about me?
Oh yeah. What about you? How
what
you
a,
doing?
what a, what a, you see this? You see what I go
cares?
through? You see what I go through? No,
I'm just kidding. How are you doing?
I'm good,
It's been a
man.
week. Let's do a little high five to reboot. Get the energy back up.
Well, gaming wise, not much.
Okay.
I will say that I platinumed Yakuza and got
wow,
that.
dude. That's like 3 weeks. I think you've been playing that game.
Yeah. I think I platinum in 2.
Nerd alert. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
dude. When I
get it, bro.
So when I get into games, like games that I really love, especially series, I say like, all right, I'm just gonna 100% this game like crazy. Now, granted, when it comes to Yakuza, 100%ing the game will probably take you about 300 hours, depending on which mainline game you play. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe like 150.
I mean, it depends on the pace, but I know what you're saying.
They're pretty big games, and there's a lot of things you can do and like chase after. So, but with the platinum trophy, this one was pretty simple, like a lot more simpler than the other ones that I've done. And so far, this is out of Yakuza 7, 8, Gaiden, and Pirate Yakuza. I have 3 platinum trophies, and I need to get the platinum trophy for 7, which I'm really close. But there's a dungeon called the True Final Millennial Tower.
Ooh, sounds awesome.
Dude, it is hard, like super hard. I've never played it, I have played it, but I haven't, I've gone past half of it, and my party ain't there yet. So I'm probably gonna have to sit to do another 5 5 to 10 hours of grinding in order to get my guys to level like 99.
Oh snap! Okay.
And that's the recommended. Like they say,
Really?
it says in the game like your party has to be level 99, all your characters.
To actually be able to like complete it or to hurt enemies or something. Is that
No, just to like have a chance.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
there's gonna be a little bit of grinding on that, but I'm gonna kind of take a step back. And next month we have Claire Obscure Expedition 33,
Okay. Yeah.
which I'm really pumped for.
Yeah, that's getting some press. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the reception for it.
Yeah.
That'll be. It's only $50 too.
You're gonna day one that game?
Yeah, most likely.
Maybe we should stream that game.
See, I'm thinking about that.
Get that stuff rolling.
I need to get on the PlayStation. There's a PlayStation camera,
Okay.
and I want to use that because I could use like my other capture device.
Steal this thing, too.
Wait, what?
You can always steal that back too if you need to.
Oh shoot! Well, I gave that Elgato to you, man.
I mean, like the freaking webcam.
Oh yeah. Well,
Anyway.
that'd be a good idea. That may be at one point, but yeah, man. Like in that case, yeah, I'm really excited for that game.
Okay.
It just looks awesome. Do you know the game Lost Odyssey?
Yes, I've never played it.
It was a Xbox 360, yeah, like exclusive.
Yeah.
That came out. It's heavily inspired by that, and we haven't had a Lost Odyssey type game in a long time.
All right.
So
What's the gameplay like in this upcoming time?
So the gameplay is basically it's just like a turn-based RPG,
Okay.
but very like stylized, very like the menus. Like you know how Persona? You ever seen like gameplay of Persona is? It's kind of like that, except not as like colorful, flashy, but more of like I don't know. It just has like cooler like particle effects, and like when you're selecting like attacks to do, like the attack stuff will like vanish
Okay.
and whatnot. So I don't know. It just looks really cool.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is really cool because it's very reactive. So, you know, when you do like a standard attack, you have to hit like triangle or X at the right time to do like bonus damage. And so yeah, it looks great. The cast of characters, I've been kind of trying to steer a little bit away from like more of like seeing the game because I've already seen enough to convince me.
Surprise. You want some more of the surprise when you jump in to do it?
That's what I do for most games because I want to be pleasantly surprised rather than just like look at everything and be like,
Yeah, you need to do the pre-builds and oh, this is the 10 things you should do when you fire it up, and those are helpful, but then it kind of does take away that excitedness of just kind of jumping into a new world and just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love to do in games. And also like the story is just so cool to me. It's like about this like sort of I don't want to call them demons, but they're like monsters or whatever that comes down every year, and it has a number on it, and that number is basically makes it so that, say for example, let's say 33, like Expedition 33, everybody that's 33 years old just vanishes like a Thanos snap.
Interesting.
So, and that's where these expeditions come at once a year, where they like a group of people come and they go and fight this entity and kind of
try to like
destroy
the
it.
mystery of where the frick all these people are, or if they're dead, or
yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it's
like that.
so it's cool. The story's cool. It's intrigued me, and I'll be honest with you, many video game stories don't really intrigue me very often.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is actually intriguing me is kind of like a really big plus.
You know, that's a whole other conversation we can have on a different show about like storytelling nowadays for games and how it's just kind of all over the place, or it's for only certain people that don't even play video games. And but no, that sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, and we should hook up the stream, get that all,
for sure.
Get that content out to the masses and watch you own that game.
Absolutely.
Also, quick question: when you do platinum, when you do your platinums, do you look up these things, or do you like how do you figure out how to get all these trophies? Is it in game where it tells you kind of how to achieve it, or do you look up videos, or what does that look like?
So for games like The Last of Us, PlayStation had a really cool thing where, you ever seen on your PlayStation 5 those like cards that show up? So sometimes they'll have like trophy cards where it'll literally like show you how to do it or like give you a certain hint. But the problem is that Sony's really bad at doing that too.
Okay.
Like
so they only do it for certain titles.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like another example is that sometimes they'll have cards that have like a percentage of like how much you've completed the game. But then like there are certain games that don't even like it just says 0 throughout the whole thing, So it's so in that way it can help.
It's inconsistent.
But as to answer your question, I do look up stuff.
Cool.
So I'm not gonna sit around and say like, hey, you know, I blindly like go through everything and
No,
like
that's not
do
bad.
it. No, I look at guides. I have checklists and stuff that I do
No,
as
that's
well.
the thing. At the end of the day, you still have to do the challenges to get the trophies anyway. It's just sometimes a matter of figuring out what you have to do to achieve it. So
Yeah,
no
and,
shade at all for that.
and I don't like to spend like 300-400 hours on getting like a platinum trophy. I like
Yeah.
it to be, you know, I like to keep it kind
Get your
of.
trophies and move it along.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think I'm on trophy. I think this is my Pirate Yakuza, I think was either my 11th or 12th platinum trophy.
Okay.
So
Shit, maybe I'll have to start doing that for my PS5 games.
they're fun. But the thing is do it for games that you love.
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing it to get platinums, it's kind of it becomes a very tedious
It becomes
thing.
like a chore, like homework instead of fun, like gaming should be.
Exactly.
I feel that. I
So-
feel that. Gaming should be fun. It should be homework. It shouldn't be a chore. The gaming industry wants you to make games your literal second job. That's stupid.
True. Actually, it's true.
Get in,
Very
play
much
your
true.
game, find your forever game maybe. Otherwise, play more games.
Right.
I love it.
And also, just to say this real quick,
No,
I like to platinum games that I know I'm going to go back and play. So, like the Yakuza games, I am going to go back. I play through that once a year.
Yeah.
And then like The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, I'll go through that and play through them. Because the thing is that I play my games on easy mode anyway.
Yeah.
But then because there's like New Game Plus, which is a very good incentive to go back and play these games, especially if you like them. So I like bump up the difficulty to the next level, and then kind of like test myself through there with all of the stuff that I've accrued from my previous playthrough.
Yeah. You know, I love that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an audible segue into some news that I didn't put on the docket,
Perfect.
because that's an interesting conversation about New Game Plus and the extendability and replayability of games.
Yeah.
So Monolith, we had talked about them a few weeks ago because they were being closed down.
Yep.
One of their ex-executives came out and I believe did some kind of an interview, but pretty much maintained that they developed that Nemesis system as a way to encourage people to hold on to their games.
Oh.
As we all probably know, third-party sales of games, places like GameStop, where you play a game, sell it, then they sell it for profit. That's great and all, but the developer doesn't ever see those secondary profits. They see the initial game buy, and then after that, it's over. So I think at that point, there was kind of like a concern with developers on the sustainability of games and saying, hey, we can make a great single-player game, but they're going to buy it once and then give it away. Or buy it once, sell it to GameStop. GameStop will make money off of it. But how do we continue to make money off that game? So they created the Nemesis system as a way for a game like Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War to say, hey, I may have beaten a few things, but I don't want to give it away because now this enemy is now adjusted to me a certain way and now hates me. And, it creates more of an extended ability to play the game and see different outcomes and see how you affect the world. And so it was built to kind of encourage people to hold on to their games a little bit longer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For like replayability wise.
Replayability wise, the Nemesis system was something where you can fight an enemy at the beginning of the game and you spare them, or maybe you defeat them and they escape. They grow stronger, they level up almost like your character does, and they foster alliances and hatred with you. So you may come back to that person and now they're in charge of a whole group of orcs or like a small army of orcs, and now they're more powerful. And so if you kill them, you can potentially either let them free, kill them, or make them your servant, and then they can upgrade still as your servant. So it was a cool way, and maintained to be a cool way, for people to hold on to that game, create new experiences and continuous experience, almost like a forever game.
Yeah.
And not allow people to live in the games longer, potentially start spending more money in the game with things like monetization or seasonal passes and things like that.
Of course. Yeah.
It's a good initial thought, but that is an interesting way to think about it, right? Like, how do you continue to keep people in your world, but not just to have fun, just to continue to reap profit from them?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that kind of way of thinking, how they thought of that.
It's an innovative way to make a really great system, which unfortunately now is like shuttered because Monolith is shut down. It's a cool way to potentially create replayability without just milking the game dry with microtransactions and things like that.
Do you think Monolith will like make it so that other games could probably use that, or do you think they'll just hold on to that?
I don't think so, because I think in the end of the day, I think it's Warner Brothers Studios or whoever owns Monolith. I think it's their option.
Okay.
So if it's in their hands, I firmly believe that they're willing to watch the system just not be used, than let like another game make $1 billion with that system in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas
makes
they
sense.
can't get a freaking game off the ground with or without the system. So
I would have loved to see that Wonder Woman game and see how that implemented it. I wanted to see the friendships.
the friendship system. So speaking of friendships and potential rivalries,
Ooh.
we have
Damn.
a potential usurper to the throne of the digital TCG gaming arena. So we have Digimon set to get its very own mobile card game to potentially rival the Pokemon Pocket. Was it called TCG Pocket?
Yeah,
I believe
TCG
is the
Pocket.
official game for it.
Yep.
So Bandai Namco has announced Digimon Elysion, a free-to-play card game, card battler for iOS and Android. I can't pronounce things. So right now details are pretty thin. There's not a ton of information. There's a small teaser trailer that you can find on their official X account or on YouTube. Like and subscribe and leave a comment.
Nice segue.
With a little bit of information to come off. It was revealed during Digimon Con. It looks to bring all the Digivolution of its card game to the virtual format, complete with pack openings and pixel art of the various mons. So really no release date, no content release set. It sounds like the one of the interesting differences here is there may be some kind of storyline
Yeah.
that the game follows.
They introduced like some characters.
Yes,
too.
I don't know if it has the names of them in here, but it does say that they showed off some specific Digimon. I don't know which ones, but that there is like a narrative, an overall narrative to the game.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that the TCG Pocket game for Pokemon doesn't have. So
True,
not
because
just copy paste.
yeah, very cool to see Digimon do this, because I think Digimon needs like a pretty. I don't know how popular Digimon is nowadays. Is it still pretty popular?
I feel like it is. A buddy of mine plays the physical card game. I guess that's come back in the last few years.
Okay.
And it's has quite a fan base that's pretty tight. You know, I think Digimon, they've had a couple of revamps to their TV shows over the last few years, a couple reboots.
Yeah.
And I read a rumor somewhere, not a rumor, but that they have a new anime that they're working on.
I saw like a teaser.
A teaser
like
for it.
Yeah,
I
or
think it was
something.
probably spoken about at this Digimon Con as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of like on the upswing, which is great. 'Cause
Oh, that's cool.
I love Digimon as a kid.
Yeah, I would like to see Digimon kind of come back,
Yeah.
and like kind of rival Pokemon.
There you go. Rivalry and competition is great for the consumer.
Oh, I agree.
Because if Digimon comes out and makes a banger anime, which Pokemon kind of already is doing, they're doing pretty solid anime for Pokemon. But if they come out and make like a great game, right? With great visuals, a world that doesn't look like a stupid ghost world, with decent graphics, you know, with great gameplay, that's only going to force Pokemon to say, crap. Now we got to do that too.
Yeah.
You know, we can't be outplayed.
And Pokemon's been dominating for so long
Seriously.
that I
And
think
it should. Pokemon's an amazing franchise. It's awesome. They're always at least adding things to it. I wouldn't say they're innovating on the franchise too much beyond just making Pokemon bigger.
True.
Whoa, big battle.
Crystallized Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mega evolutions.
Yeah. So I
type stuff.
think at that point, Pokemon has kind of hit like a wall in terms of creativity and things, but it's still cool. It's a great world. There's lots of content to it, or potential for content and great models. Pokemon. However, Digimon's cool too. So there's room for both.
Yeah. I will say I did watch the little teaser trailer that they had.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a bad one because I couldn't really understand what was going on in it. Like when I was seeing like sort of like the little bit of the gameplay that they were showing.
Okay.
I
mean, you know.
But then again, like I don't really know much about the TCG in general or for that. But I'm sure those who are a big fan of the TCG for Digimon are probably super excited right now.
Okay.
I would be, because when Pokemon TCG Pocket was announced, I was super excited about that. So good for the Digimon fans.
I think it's cool. It's good for the community. It's good for the gamers. Good for people out there who just like trading card games. You know, get that addiction.
Yeah.
Get the polls, bro. The epic polls.
Oh my god. So speaking of Pokemon, just real quick, I got a God Pack for the first time.
Oh.
Which came
physical or the digital game?
Oh, the digital game.
Okay.
But it came with like a bunch of like rare hollows that I didn't have in the bank, essentially. Dude, it was awesome. It felt really good. And it feels really good to like get cards that you don't have.
Yeah.
And that can like just be added to your collection, man. Once you see that little like new come on, like show above that dopamine hit.
And like, just buy 5 more packs though. It's only a little more little more Poke Gems. I don't know the currency in the game.
Luckily, I haven't really spent any money on it. I've been thinking about doing that monthly one though, where it's like $10 a month. You get like extra Pokemon cards and like or extra packs and all this stuff a day. So I was thinking about it, but
there's a game out there for everyone.
Yep.
Game on and beyond. 2025.
You nerd.
So anyway, more game news. We've had we're gonna talk about Minecraft.
I love
Spoiler
Minecraft.
alert.
I love Minecraft.
My kids like Minecraft for the most part. They're into Roblox now. However,
Oh yeah.
there was some pretty interesting things announced at the Minecraft Live 2025. So there's some highlights at the bottom of this article from IGN.com. One of the biggest things that I think is interesting is the Vibrant Visuals update.
Yeah, that looks nice.
It's going to bring some crazy graphical fidelity to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious though, right? Because I'm looking at these pictures, and on the left, this is where it's like I wish we could like show the like fade to this picture.
Yeah.
Where it shows like so on the left it shows the water, and it has like that very classical like blocky kind of look to it, kind of shitty graphics. And then on the right it's the water, and it looks gorgeous, and even the biomes look kind of smoothed out. But I'm curious if people might not like that, because it almost looks a little less Minecrafty. You know, that blocky look to everything, I think, is the
aesthetic, selling,
right?
like the selling point for it.
So
yeah.
do you think the community or the hardcore Minecrafters, if that's what they're called, could potentially not like the graphical update? Maybe prefer that more blocky, cubey world?
Depends on, like the way that you like your worlds,
Yeah.
Like for me personally, I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome. I love how the sun is reflective off of the trees and like on the water. I think it looks next gen. I think
I agree. That's a great way to put it.
it looks next gen. It looks like there's some life into it. Whereas, the original Minecraft kind of looked, way too blocky and like a little bit like kind of Lego-y in a certain way. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
It kind of compelled me to be like, oh, let me look into this a little bit more.
I know. I mean, I was gonna buy it anyway for the PS5 Pro, and see if my kids want to play it. But if it looks better, I may be more apt to play it actually, because Minecraft's kind of fun, just building stuff and kind of setting your engineering talents and your creativity ablaze, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's gotten even like way more complex too.
Yeah,
which
you
is
can
cool.
make some really cool stuff. So they have the first drop of the year called Spring to Life, just like the part of the graphical fidelity updates.
Mm-hmm.
They're aiming to make the biomes feel a little more immersive and alive, so less just like blocky dead things. It's going to add warm and cold variants of some of Minecraft's classic mobs, new ambient features like the glittering firefly bush, I don't know what the hell that is, falling leaves, and whispers of sand, and more reasons to explore. So there's some dried ghasts, some new ghastling and happy gas mob variants, and ghast harness. I don't know what that is either. The dried ghast is a little bit smaller than a regular block, and has a cute little tentacles and a grumpy face. Adorable.
Cute. Very.
So we don't have to go through everything, but it sounds like they're going to be adding some better graphics. They're going to add some life to the world, some new mobs and character variants. And I believe there's an in-game event to coincide with the release of the Minecraft movie.
Oh, yeah. They also said something about how there's like a new locator bar.
Okay.
That's positioned at the bottom of the screen that lets you see in which direction your friends are too.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that'll be
That's
really
awesome.
useful for
Yeah.
like survival modes and like
Yeah.
creativity modes and stuff.
Yeah, thank you for pulling that up. I love that. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, there's a live event starting today, actually, running through April 7th.
Cool.
There's challenges that allow you to earn a specific cape, a nice little cosmetic reward
A
to complete
urine
these
cape?
challenges.
Urine cape.
The urine cape, not urine. The urine cape.
Yo,
Yo, it's the piss cape.
you want your piss yellow cape, kids? Jack Black gonna be pissing on some fucking.
So that's
Sorry.
pissing. So some interesting things coming out of Minecraft. You know, another game. Here's the thing, right? Like, it seems dumb that I would never think to play that on my PC, right? But now that I have a PS5 Pro, I'm thinking differently about some of the games I want to play.
Yeah.
And that's something where I'm like, A, my kids love it. B, it's easy to play, and it's something that I can do to kick it with them. You know?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I didn't like about Minecraft is that it did look kind of shitty, and I feel like that just made me kind of like sick playing the game. Like, it just, like, it makes me want to throw up on my chest. No, it's just like there's something about it that just doesn't. It just makes you not interested in the world because it looks kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
again, I've seen some really beautiful things that people have done. I'm sure the game looks great with certain mods, but I don't want to go through all the trouble of that. So if it's as simple as them just updating the game to look a little bit better, add in these things without me having to download 20,000 different extensions to make it work,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll jump in and give it a try.
It just looks like it's another update for the next gen. So
Minecraft.
let's hope, man. Let's hope it turns out good. I'm sure it will. Oh, also they said that they would never go free to play.
Oh yes, we didn't talk about that. They mentioned they're never going to go free to play because they were talking about how the game has like incredible value, which honestly, that's fine.
It's true.
It's like $20. It's like $20, right?
Yeah.
PS5,
It might be 20 or
PlayStation
30, but I think like the 30 is like a deluxe edition
Yeah,
type.
I think I mean, here's the thing. Like, if they go free to play, they're gonna pollute the game with microtransactions. And
Yeah.
they're gonna monetize every aspect of it, which maybe they're doing already in some aspect. But right now, you can get a lot of cool add-ons and stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And then you can just monetize with Minecoin. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
they also mentioned, which I thought was interesting, because you talked about just the increased graphics and the way that things are reflecting off each other. They mentioned they're not going to do any generative AI to assist with the graphical updates and fidelity changes.
Nice.
So I think that's kind of interesting. I think
That's
a lot
cool.
of some people tend to fall back on that, which is fine. AI helps a lot of things, but it's cool to still see the artist touch in some of those changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, AI is cool. It's a cool tool.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like games and stuff like that, I feel like with like games like Call of Duty and stuff using their AI for stuff and having like a bad turnaround on that,
Yeah.
I feel like that's good that, you know, developers are using their artistic creativity
Yeah.
in these games rather than simplifying it with AI.
Yeah.
So
AI
it's good.
definitely has its
Good for them.
place, you know, in conjoined with the creatives, right?
For sure.
They did mention one last thing before we move on. No Minecraft 2 on the horizon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Good for them.
There was some information about why the developer wouldn't make Minecraft 2. I'm sure that doesn't, you know, if they're actually making it and it's not ready yet, they're probably not allowed to talk about it, so they could just be lying.
Yeah.
However, if they're just able to change the look of the game so drastically, create great gameplay experiences within Minecraft 1, what would Minecraft 2 bring that you can't just keep adding and building into Minecraft?
One example, now that you brought that up, one example that I was thinking is like Overwatch 2. Like, what was the point of even doing like a 2 if you
Change
can
for the
just
sake of
update it?
Change for the sake of change.
I get
and now
it.
they're changing it back, which is even stupider. You know what I'm saying? They're going back to a lot of those classic game modes. They're adding the GOATS playlist. Like it.
Yeah. No, I that's why I think that popular games should just like stay as
Yeah.
their original. Like I still think Destiny should have been Destiny. Like
Yeah, you know, it's kind of tough, right? Because I here's what I'll say, and I'll disagree a little bit. Destiny has just been around for so long.
Yeah.
I would let a Destiny 3 slide. Because at this point, I think they could use like an engine upgrade. As far as what I've gathered with them, I think they still use like the engine they used for like when they worked on Halo.
really?
The Tiger engine, I think, is what it's called.
Oh wow.
Again, I'm not an engineering genius and I don't know anything about development, but that I remember that was one of the complaints a couple years ago in the Destiny community, is that the game just like was like they pushed it to like they've pushed the system to where it needs to go, and to really bring out a great sequel to Destiny 2. They would want to start like fresh, you know, in like Unreal. So I could be wrong. They might be changing to some other tools potentially as their staffing changes and their vision for Destiny changes. But I do agree with what I think you're saying at the beginning of that, which is we don't want to over monetize games with microtransactions, but if you can just create a living and breathing world that people want to live in, they'll play that game all day.
For sure.
You don't want gaming to be a hobby or a second job, but some people are cool with doing that, with coming home, living in that world, spending money in that world, and creating a sequel to it doesn't always guarantee just more success. If anything, it might just splinter out the people who really enjoyed one version of the game versus the other.
Yeah, I agree with you. 1,000%.
So a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's good conversation. So
no, and also the fact that you said something about like the engines and whatnot, like it would be really hard for them to like have a brand new engine and just like take all of like Destiny 2 and like Destiny 1 stuff and kind of convert it to that,
And again, you got to think about like training your devs. Like if you've worked for Bungie for you've worked for me for like 10 years in one engine, cool, we're switching to Unreal 5. Okay, yeah, you don't know Unreal 5. Now you got to learn that and then code the game in it.
Yeah.
So it's good to maybe make those transitions over time, but not just doing it for the sake of just getting a sequel out.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it's important.
1,000%.
Speaking of showcases in March, we have the Monster Hunter Wilds showcase.
Gasp.
So we have the showcase came out today, spotlighted some updates and changes that are upcoming to the game alongside what they're calling Title 1 update. It's coming out April 4th. A free update for all owners of Monster Hunter Wilds. So free. That's awesome. In tandem with the launch, several pieces of free and paid DLC will be going live as well. A new hub will expand the hangout potential for hunters. There's going to be new cosmetics, new armor pieces, shake up your fashion game, and more fearsome monsters to battle. So there's plenty of details via different websites and YouTube channels. But there's some new games. They talked about the bubbly monster Mizutsune. Does this ring a bell for you at all? You're more of the Monster Hunter guy.
I think it was in Monster Hunter Rise, I want to say. I can't remember exactly.
It's got swift tail strikes, water jets, and many other moves ready to burst your bubble when it arrives in Title 1 update. Title Update 1.
Yeah, I think, I think it's I think it's from Rise. Or... I couldn't remember exactly.
We don't need to speculate. So there's going to be a new event quest. There's also going to be just all sorts of new monster fights and changes to some of the existing battles. Things called arena quests. You can change Alma's outfit. And then they talked about some new DLC on the way as well. So I'm not doing a whole bunch of monster hunting right now. Again, I love the idea of the game, but it seems like one of those where I got to sink some time into it.
Yeah.
Not ready to do that right now. However, awesome to see them already planning for fixes for the game, changes for the game that the community have been asking for, updates, new monster battles, changes to existing battles already, and just new content all for free. I think that's super awesome.
Monster Hunter is known for having like a free title updates for the most part.
Yeah.
They do like I think 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I remember Rise having so much to the point where like it kind of got really not convoluted, but very overwhelming. Because when I was playing through Rise, essentially, even with like the DLC stuff, that expansion that came out was like called Sunbreak, I think.
Yeah.
It kept on updating and updating, and I'm like, man, like that's awesome. That's good, for people that really are invested in this game. Another thing that's really cool is that they do like these Capcom collaborations too, where they like can give like they go to like certain game series such as like Mega Man, or Resident Evil, and like there was this YouTube video I watched also about like a bunch of like the different title updates that came out and like the collaborations that they did. I think they did like some kind of like pizza type of collaboration too with like some pizza company.
Oh man, I love pizza.
So yeah, good for them. Good for them for keep on adding on to the game. I mean, shoot, it's probably at like 10 million copies sold now.
Seriously, yeah, the game's been doing great despite having some initial like I think PC issues. People have been still enjoying it. We got a couple buddies that play it, and they also complained about some of the technical issues, but they're still grinding it like crazy. So
yeah,
they know Capcom knows what's up. They're making fixes to the game. They're adding content to the game. They're making it better, and it's all for free right now. So I think that's really cool.
And it's their best-selling franchise. So, dude, like, Yeah, just keep it on.
Yeah,
And keep on.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Like I said, the most important. The thing about the game is that I just love the collaborations and what they do. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing like what's out there.
Yeah,
Or what's gonna come.
I love that. Cool. Just kidding.
Ooh.
Oops.
Where are you coming?
Anyway, do you want to talk about the next one? We got
The Sims Rival.
a Sims rival.
Oh yeah, in Zoe. Zoe.
approaches.
Yeah, so I picked this one because I thought it was pretty interesting that the Sims are finally gonna have a new rival, just like Digimon and Pokemon right now. So the Sims rival in Zoe, it is a South Korean game that was announced I think 2 or 3 years ago, and this game is supposed to rival The Sims. It has become the most wish list game on Steam currently, which is very cool. From what I've seen of the game, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, like very realistic.
Yeah.
Very realistic.
And
Kinda
there's
creepy, but cool.
Yeah, and there's a ton of tons of stuff you can do in the game, you know, that the Sims haven't really caught up to. Now,
It says the game allows players to upload videos of themselves or other people performing motions.
Yep.
Then it uses generative AI to turn those motions into animations.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a pretty big focus on AI in this game for sure. But if they use the AI well,
Yeah.
and not just use it for,
Yeah.
stupid stuff, then it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And
This looks crazy.
it looks super realistic.
Yeah, there's so much customization.
Mm-hmm.
Skin tone, hair, eyes. There's like a zillion different options, it looks like. Or you can just upload your face.
Yeah.
And then they just make it for you, which is interesting.
Yeah, and when I was watching some trailers and stuff for it, they said you can be anywhere from like an influencer to someone who runs a bakery
Yeah.
to a gym, someone that runs a gym, and there's different professions that you can make in the game.
Yeah, it just says, while many of the game's mechanics will be familiar to players of The Sims, the game's focus is on giving the player more tools to create their own character, objects, and other elements.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really interesting.
Yeah,
Second Life.
Pretty much. I mean, Second Life wasn't that a super older game back in the day? I think it was a Sims competitor as well. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of shout outs to Inzoe.
No, I think that's cool. It's looks like early access starts in 3 days, March 28th.
Yep. From what I've heard so far, of some of the beta testing, unfortunately, it is in beta, so they haven't really released a ton of stuff for the game itself, so it can be a little bland.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
But it's still in early access, and from what I've seen so far, it just looks amazing.
The Sims has so much history and fan base and personality. So this game Inzoe will have to find, its own way in the world, and it'll have to find its own kind of voice.
Yeah.
I think, which could be a difficult journey, but it sounds like plenty of people are interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
I'm gonna keep a close eye on this game just to see.
Yeah.
And see where it goes. Hopefully, it does not. Hopefully, it's not the day before situation where it's
it's fake.
Yeah, where
They
it's
just make
super.
out with everyone's money.
Because I don't know, man, that.
That would be hilarious.
But I
That
have
would be
faith.
hilarious.
I have faith.
I don't think so. We'd probably be hearing more about that alongside the information about the games too.
Right.
So.
Yep.
No, I think that's cool. I think that's all I got for the news. Anything else you need to share?
Do we want to talk about Assassin's Creed? Hits 2 million players.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yes. You want to lead that?
Yeah. So, what's really cool is Assassin's Creed Shadows released. What was it? Last Friday? Was it last Friday?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday. Okay. And already in 2 days, it hit 2 million players.
Wow.
Which is freaking insane. Not only that, but it surpassed Origins and Odyssey launches, which is really cool too.
Yeah, there's no sales figures still.
Nope.
But at the time of the article's publication, there was about almost 60,000 current players.
Yeah.
So it was on Steam, and it broke the top 30 most played games on Valve's platform.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it says Origin's all-time Steam peak was 41,000 over 7 years ago, and Odyssey's was 62,000. So yeah, very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Looks like it's on track to become at least Steam's most played Assassin's Creed game.
Which is good because it's good that Ubisoft is getting the success with the game. I have heard good things about the game.
Yeah.
Like really good things about it. But I can't justify paying $70 for this game.
Yeah. I've heard pretty much that if you're a big fan of what Ubisoft's been doing with Assassin's Creed recently, it's almost like the kind of perfection of that formula.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not a fan of that trajectory, or if you're just not that into Assassin's Creed, it's not like a must-buy. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just more of what they've been doing, just better.
Yeah.
Which is good. Improvement's good.
What's cool too is there's this YouTuber that I watched. His name G-Man Lives.
Yeah.
He had a review for it, and basically what he said is that a lot of the Assassin's Creed portion of the game itself is with that female ninja assassin.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're Yasuke,
Yeah.
the big brawler
You're
dude,
you're just beating people up.
yeah, pretty much. It turns into like a regular like hack and slash type
Yeah.
of game where it's not,
not
as
very
Assassin's
stealthy.
Creed, like
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed-y, I guess, more than anything.
Assassin's Creed.
Ass.
Yeah. No, I've heard very similar things. So we'll catch it on sale.
Yeah.
But Ghost of Tsushima is free on PlayStation Plus, so maybe I'll check that out.
There we
I've
go.
been hearing a lot of good things about it.
There we go. Yeah, that's a great game too. I only got through like the prologue and I think through chapter 1 in that game.
Yeah.
But dude, there's just the TLC that Sucker Punch gave to that game
Yeah.
is like above and beyond. So I'm really looking forward to the Ghost of Yotai?
Ghost of Yotai, I believe.
I think that's the second one that's coming out, or Yotai or whatever.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll like it too. The enhancements for the director's cut on PS5 Pro are gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks really good. And the gameplay looks really fun.
Yeah.
So honestly, this makes me almost want to get Days Gone By or Days Gone
Yeah.
when that remaster comes out.
Yeah.
I may have to pick that up.
You should.
So
You should support them because
maybe we'll get a sequel.
yeah, let's hope.
Probably not.
But not probably.
Just
not.
get the remake.
I think actually the sequel got denied by Sony.
Yes, I feel like you sent me a video about that actually.
Yeah.
How there was like a pitch for it, and they were like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
Well, and like I don't think it's because it sold bad. I think it was just like at that time, it wasn't just like it just wasn't.
I think they want like live service games right now. Everyone wants those live service games.
Of course.
You know, and if you don't do that, then get the hell out of here.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, so that's all the news I got for today. Sorry, I almost messed up that last one. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man, I don't got much to say other than go play some video games, have fun.
Go play some video games, have some fun. Check out this video when we publish it. We got 4 other episodes for you to jump into that cover a wide swath of news over the last few weeks. Check out the videos, like, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, get that algorithm boosted. Oops. And, you know, we'll see you next week with some more Game On and Beyond news.
Take care, guys. Be well.
Adios. Don't forget about Oreo. She's really cute.
That's a dog.
That's a dog. She may not be back next time. Not because she's of any bad reason.
Oh, wow.
But because she's just distracting. She's so cute. But anyway, thanks for stopping in for the podcast this week. We will see you next week. Have a great week and have fun playing games.
Take care, guys.
Bye.